Yeah, guys. Hey, I was just it's just inside. They just wrapped up for the day, and I wanted to point out that this has been 3 years in the making. 2020 October is when all of this is when the shooting happened. So we're almost 3 years past that point, and the family of both Stein and Rounsville filled the left side of the courtroom. They wanted to see what the jury was going to decide, what they're going to decide this week. There were a few people on Wilson's side of the courtroom as well. And there were a few tense moments inside the courtroom today. Some shudders that could be almost felt. You could hear some of the people exhale as some of the evidence was being shown. I was actually just talking to Rounsville's grandparents, and they mentioned that that their daughter didn't want to have to go through all of this and witness all this again and hear the testimonies. But that's exactly what happened today, especially when some of that evidence, Rounsville's shirt came out. That was when we heard a shudder from the crowd as well. Now, just to back this up a little bit, so October 2020 is when this happened, and the prosecutor kind of laid out a timeline, and that this was, and both the prosecutor and defense attorney agree, this was a marijuana deal, a drug deal that had been happening, and that's when some sort of disagreement happened between the two parties here, and that's when there was the trucks peeled out. We heard witnesses talk about the truck peeling out and hearing the truck crash as well. And then there were shots that were fired at both Rounsville and Stein inside of the car, and then after that, hours later, is when we had the Wilson was found in a pond nearby. So we did hear from one witness, and she mentioned that, that what she went through that night and what she saw and what she heard is something that stuck with her for years now.
She kept saying, "Am I going to die? Am I going to die?" And then she picked her head up at once, and she looks over, and she's like, "Where's Kyle? Is he okay? Is he okay?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's okay. He's fine." I'm like, we're trying to keep her alive.
Now, to briefly recap both sides of the argument, the prosecutor is arguing that Wilson had the chance to think about what he was doing before pulling the trigger, while the defense attorney is arguing that he acted out of self-defense when the truck was coming at him. So we will continue tomorrow hearing from more of the witnesses here, more testimonies, and as we work our way toward a verdict. He is charged with first-degree murder, which could be 2 counts of first-degree murder, which could carry life in prison. In St. Augustine, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.
Zach, thank you. New tonight, the